If Outlook search seems unreliable, very often the problem is not search itself. It's that Outlook is searching somewhere different from where you think. In this lesson, I want to show you the difference between instant search and all mailboxes, because once you understand that, Outlook search starts to make a lot more sense.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Microsoft 365 tutorial. Now in Outlook, a lot of users type something into the search box and assume that Outlook is searching absolutely everything, but that's not always the case. Sometimes Outlook is searching only in the current folder, sometimes it's searching the current mailbox, sometimes it's searching all mailboxes, and unless you notice the scope Outlook is using, you can end up thinking that an email has disappeared when in reality Outlook is just looking in the wrong place. So this lesson is all about understanding where Outlook is searching, not just what you type in. So what is instant search? Well, I've got the 365 version of Outlook open here, and there's the search box up on the ribbon. If I just click in the search box, you'll see a couple of prompts come up. These are recent searches. And if I start typing something, so if I just start typing operations, you'll see all the references to operations pop up. But if you have a look over to the left, you'll see at the moment we're searching in the inbox. Now that is the scope that Outlook is searching in, and that could be one of these. So I've got all folders, current folders, subfolders, and favorites. If we switch over to the desktop version of Outlook, in here, if I click in the search box, you'll see over on the left-hand side, I'm searching in the current folder. But if I click the drop down, I've got subfolders, current mailbox, all mailboxes, all Outlook items. So depending on the version of Outlook that you're using and the scope of the search, you could be looking in the wrong place. So what does all mailboxes mean? Well, all mailboxes means that Outlook is searching across every mailbox currently in your Outlook profile. And that could include your main mailbox. It could include any shared mailboxes. So if you're sharing somebody else's, any additional accounts that you've added, any archived mailboxes. And this can be extremely useful if you're not sure where a message has been filed, or if you want to manage more than one inbox. But it can also create confusion, because the wider the search scope, the broader the results. You may get more matches than you expected. You may also get matches from a mailbox you'd forgotten you ever had. So all mailboxes is powerful, but it can make results feel very messy unless you use it deliberately. A very common mistake is that somebody searches while sitting inside one folder like the inbox. And if we switch over to all mailboxes, you'll see it widens the scope now. We're now searching all the mailboxes attached to this version of Outlook. And I have about 5 in here. I've hidden them because some of them are personal, but you might have the colleagues, you might have your managers. You'll be searching everywhere if you go for all mailboxes. So if I go to the search box now, click in the drop down and choose the current folder. So the current folder I'm looking in is the inbox, as you can see here. If I type in a name here, I'll just type in Alan. Now if I change the scope from the current folder to the current mailbox and do the same search again, you now see that there's more than one reference to Alan Graham here because the search scope is larger. Sometimes this is the best balance between speed and completeness. If I go over now to all mailboxes, and we'll just use that search again. There we are, we still have 2 references to Alan Graham. So this is useful if you have more than one account or if you used shared mailboxes. Let's switch back over to Microsoft 365. And you see in this version, we don't have a reference to all mailboxes. Because it's an online version of Outlook, we're only able to look at all folders, the current folders, or any subfolders. And if you look at the favorites, you'll just see that we've got drafts and sent items. So a difference in the amount of scope. In the desktop version of Outlook, you get to search all mailboxes, but in the online version, you're limited to all the folders that are associated with your account. Sometimes this appears inconsistent. So for example, if yesterday you searched your inbox only, but today you searched all folders with the same keyword, you might get different results. So let's do that. Okay, so if I click all folders, you'll see all the folders where operations appears, whereas if we go back to just the current folder, which is the inbox, there's only one. So before you assume that Outlook is broken, just ask yourself a question. What is Outlook actually searching for right now? And in a business setting, this matters because people often work in several places at once. You may have your own mailbox, you may have a department mailbox, a project mailbox, an online archive, and if you don't understand the difference between a focused search and a broad search, it becomes very easy to lose time hunting for messages that are actually there all along. So the big idea here is simple. Instant search is the tool. All mailboxes is one possible search scope. They're not the same thing. Instant search works quickly, but the results depend entirely on where Outlook has been told to search. Once you get into the habit of checking the search scope first, Outlook search becomes much easier to trust. In the next lessons, we'll build on this by looking at other reasons search results may not appear as expected and how to fix them. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that useful.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for news of my latest videos. There's a discount coupon link to my Udemy course in the description. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.